Hi everyone, I hope all is well. This week's Parsha is Parshat Chayei-Sara, the life of Sarah. Now, when looking at this week's Parsha, you may think, ironically, paradoxically, this week's Parsha talks a lot about death, right? In the first few psukim, it talks about Sarah's death. Later on in the Parsha, it talks about Abraham's death. So the question is, why is this week's Parsha called Chayei? Why is it called the life of Sarah, Chayei-Sara? Why? Call it something else. So, Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, as he usually does, offering an eloquent, brilliant answer, answered on this question, and he said, why is there so much death, right, in the Parsha about life, right? He said, don't worry, this Parsha is not about death. At the end of the day, it's really about life, right? The Parsha is called Chayei-Sara, the life of Sarah. Don't think past that. It's about life. And his rationale goes as follows. As I've spoken about in years past, Rashi says on the first few psukim that talk about Sarah's life, in short, he says that all of the years of Sarah's life were all equally good. Puzzling, but let's put a pause on that. Later on in the Parsha, when right after Sarah dies, right, nearing the end of Abraham's life, the Torah says that Hashem told Abraham, look, I blessed you with everything, right? How is this possible? These two instances, every year of Sarah's life was equally good, and right after Sarah died, Hashem's telling Abraham, I blessed you with everything? What's going on here? That doesn't seem right. Think about Abraham and Sarah's lives, right? It was a roller coaster, up and down. Sarah got kidnapped here and there, right? Abraham, his cousin went off, he almost died, and then he got in a fight, his kids were fighting, and then Sarah died, right? They lived a roller coaster life. How is it possible that in these two instances it comes out so positive? So Rabbi Sachs continued, saying that really to explain the how was it that all the years of Sarah's life were equally good and that Abraham was blessed with everything, right? To explain the how, we first have to explain the why. Right? Why did they live the lives that they did in the first place? And to answer that question, it's really Hashem, right? It's faith in Hashem, that Hashem at the end of the day will pull through because Hashem runs the world, right? Everything that happens in the world, at the end of the day, Hashem is behind it. Right? And that's exactly how we explain the how. How Sarah's life was like it was, how Abraham's life was like it was. And the fact that they knew that every single action they did was for the continuity of the Jewish people, was to help their children go inhabit the land of Israel, to make a thriving nation, right? An or lagoyim, right? A light to all nations, and at the end of the day. Right? And that's exactly how, although their lives may seem more up and down roller coaster like, that's how every single year of Sarah's life was equally great. And so too, that's how Abraham was blessed with everything. Abraham was blessed that his kids would his kids would live in the land of Israel, and that all these things, it never happened, even by the end of his life. But really, that faith in Hashem, right, that's why they were fulfilled, both of them. That's why they were fulfilled by the end of their lives. Now for us, this is such a powerful message, and I'll end with my bracha, that everything we do in these troubling times would be in the same light that everything Abraham and Sarah did, for the continuity of the Jewish people, for us to live in our homeland in Eretz Yisrael. And with that, I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom.